Hi guys, Scott Woodward with you. Let's talk about the Canberra Raiders for 2012 and have a look at their team and their likely lineups for round one. And you may remember they had a lot of injuries last year. Very disappointing season for them. They finished 15th. And look, they certainly should do a lot better this year, obviously, because Terry Campese will be on deck, who is their captain and has been their best player over the last 5 or 6 seasons. He certainly has got some competition there now with Josh Dugan. I'm really looking forward to seeing a fit Josh Dugan and a fit Terry Campese combined. It's something that we haven't really seen yet, but 2012 promises to be the year that will happen, fingers crossed. But look, those two guys are only two of the key 4 spine positions, and that's really where Canberra's problems are. They haven't really got an established halfback, and they haven't got a lot of depth. Well, they've actually got a lot of depth in their 9 in their hooker position, but nobody stands out. And they have to replace their captain from last year, and there's no one jumping out there. Maybe young Mcllwick can be the guy who will be that, but the guys that look like they'll play, Berrigan, Buttriss, Waddell, they all go okay. As we've said many times, okay isn't good enough in such a keen spine position as hooker forward in this day and age. Look, let's run through the likely team and what I think will be in round one, their first game up against the Storm. They traditionally don't go well against the Storm, but the team that I think will take the field will be Josh Dugan. And look, if he can get himself 100% fit and stay fit, I think by the time he finishes his career, we'll be talking about him in the same breath as Billy Slater. He certainly has got the God-given talent to be as good as Billy Slater. And in fact, he's got a better sidestep than Billy Slater. And that's saying a lot because Slater's got an outstanding sidestep. But he has all the skills. I rate him very, very highly, Josh Dugan. I think he's an out-and-out world beater. And the Raiders will certainly struggle if he's not taking the field. And in fact, if he doesn't sign on and be a long-term fullback for the Raiders, he will be a big loss. Number 2 position is a problem for the Raiders. Look, Reece Robertson has been penned in as the likely starter, but the import from Europe, Dimitri, Pelo, has been trolling there for the last couple of weeks, and he may very well get the job there against Reece Robertson. Nathan Massey is another potential for that position. In the centres, Jarrod Croker, look, he'll probably hold down the number 3 position, but from my point of view, I think he's very small and I think he's very ordinary in defence, something I don't like in the centre, but he's fantastic in attack, can break a tackle, very strong for his size, but I like my centres to be better defenders than what Jarrod Croker is. Joel Thompson had an injury-prone 2011, and if they can get him fit, Canberra really need him there on the right side where he can bust tackles and he's very fast for his size. Looking forward to seeing a much better year from Joel Thompson. I really rate him. I think he's a good player, fit him well. Blake Ferguson, the other wing, the right wing position. Look, he could be anything, has God-given talent, but he's a massive liability. He can do silly knock-ons, be very, very vulnerable in defence. There's no question he's a liability, but he can also win the game for you. Maybe with a little bit of experience and some coaching, he can improve, but he's a worry, Blake Ferguson. Obviously, Terry Campese will hold the key to the Raiders season. Their captain, he's as good as any 5'8" in the world when he's fit and well. And my mail is that he's been trialling well in the off-season and he's slotted in to definitely play in round one. Let's hope so. He's certainly had a tough season and a half, and it'd be great to see him back on the field. Who is going to be his halfback partner? Look, you'd have to think it'd be Josh McCrone. He certainly improved and he relished the extra responsibility last year. And he's a very, very good halfback. There's no doubt about that. His stats are very good. I don't know if he's going to be the long-term solution, but you have to try him. Based on what he did last year, he's got to have a crack with Terry Campese. Sam Williams and Michael Picker would be the other alternatives, both two very promising number 7s. As far as the props are concerned, look, I think David Shillington will be one of the starting props, given that he was the captain last year. You'd think he would be. I know he played for Australia in the recent Four Nations, but I've been just a little bit disappointed with him. He hasn't gone to that next level that I thought he might have gone to. So I'm looking for a better year from Shillington. I think his other partner, look, there's a lot of big name alternatives as the other partner. Dane, Tilse, Tom Learoyd-Lahrs and Brett White. They're all the big name props who most people would think would be the other prop partner. But for mine, the Canberra Raiders need a change. They can't be doing what they've done the last couple of years because it hasn't been working for them, and they have no more promising young forward than Josh Papalii. I was surprised he never went on the Four Nations tour for New Zealand. I think he's a potential world beater, and with that improvement under his belt from the experience last year, and if he has a good off-season, there's no reason why he can't be the starting prop for the Canberra Raiders. From ability-wise, he's got more ability than all those guys I mentioned, and I certainly think he's worth a try to start. The workers, Joe Picker, I would think will be on one side. He's a coach's favourite, and I think he'll get a Guernsey again. And the tackling machine, Shaun Fensom, should like the scrum. Bronson Harrison was injured last year, had a very disappointing 2011. In fact, he got dropped. Providing he gets himself right and has a good off-season, you would think that he will get that position back. He combines very well in the centres with Joel Thompson, and I think the coach would be looking for that to happen again. If you can get those two guys combining well, and Terry Campese causing all sorts of problems in the stand-up position with Josh Dugan coming over on both left and right sides of the field, the Raiders will be very, very dangerous against any team. It doesn't matter who they play. So, look, there it is for me. Look, they have a fair bit of depth, the Raiders, particularly in the forwards. We've already mentioned some of them. We haven't mentioned Trevor Thurling. He goes okay. Sam Mataora has a wonderful future. I think he is one of the big up-and-comers for the Raiders. Mark Appleton, we didn't see much of him last year. I'm looking to see more of him this year. Mark Ioane, I think, is in the same boat there. Probably their big, if you like, surprise packet could be Sami Sauiluma. He's a second rower centre, a little bit like Joel Thompson, if you like, but along the lines of Manu Vatavai. He's like a big busting tank, and he can step off both feet, and he's very clever with the ball, and he's a crunching tackler, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him get a Guernsey at some stage of the season for the Canberra Raiders. So, look, there it is for me. As I said, they finished second last in the competition last year. I think providing Terry Campese and Josh Dugan can come back and form a formidable partnership, there's no question that they have the talent to play semi-final football, but we'll be selecting him just outside the 8 at the moment, and certainly we'll be reviewing that after we see the first few games of the season and see how their injuries are and who actually comes up for the team. Obviously, it's a concern. Their coach, David Furner, he only has a 39% win record, and you only have to watch how the team plays. They seem to lack structure in defence, and they seem to lack structure in attack. To be fair, with no Terry Campese, that was always going to be a problem, but the coach has got no excuses this year. 2012 should be his year. He has got his two big guns back. There should be structure in attack. The Raiders have never had any problems in scoring points. Their big problem has been conceding points, and I would think that Terry Campese and his talking will make a big difference there. So if you're a Raiders fan, here's hoping to a great 2012. Look forward to talking to you for the season. Cheers.